Hello my fellow Christian fiction lovers, welcome to a new video, welcome to a new background. My room is an absolute mess. We're getting the bookshelves sorted out, hopefully that'll be the next video. But today I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on Redeeming Love, the movie. This movie, when did it release? January 18th or 28th or sometime in January, and obviously it is now February 25th, so I've taken a bit longer to watch it than other people. I didn't see it in theaters, and I'm very glad I didn't. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of jump right into it, and then I'll let you guys know a good pausing place to leave before I start talking about some deeper stuff about the movie. But yeah, let's just jump into it. I didn't like it. I was very disappointed with how the movie turned out. I was so excited for it. I've been looking forward to it ever since Francine Rivers announced that they were actually making Redeeming Love into a movie. I was like, this is going to be one of the best Christian movies ever made. It's going to be awesome because the book is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I've read the book 2 times and I love it. It's such a rich and powerful story of redemption and the redemption of God's love and patience and mercy and forgiveness and all of these things that are so key and crucial to a sinner accepting Christ and allowing themselves to be forgiven. And the movie, that didn't come through for me. It strayed from the original story too much. It condensed too much, and considering that Francine Rivers, the author of Redeeming Love, was one of the executive producers, I'm very disappointed in the way that the movie turned out. So I don't think there is any doubt in anybody's mind that Redeeming Love, the movie, is targeted to a Christian audience. It's a 100% a Christian novel, so therefore the movie would have to have a Christian worldview and morals in it. And I'm just gonna say, like, up front, this really is not a Christian movie. Yes, it does have Christian principles and Christian morals, and the characters do have faith in it, but it's not inherently a Christian movie. Like, I have seen better non-Christian movies with a definite non-Christian worldview that have been cleaner than this movie, and that is not an exaggeration. It poses a bunch of just moral red flags. First off, within the first 15 minutes of the movie, there is literal swearing, like 3 or 4 times, and I'm not just talking about people saying like, oh dang it. No, there's actual curse words in this movie. The Lord's name is taken in vain 1 time within the first 15 minutes, and it's subtle, but I could hear it. And as a Christian, like, we can't be doing that. We can't be swearing, especially in a Christian movie. Like, no. Second, this is a massive red flag for a supposedly Christian movie. There are literal sex scenes in this movie. They are not explicit, there is no nudity, but there are two or 3 scenes, I think it's just 2 scenes, where the characters are, like, intimate, and I did not expect that. I was, like, so taken aback that that was included, and what was even worse was that it wasn't properly put into the plot and the character development. But that's a completely different thing, or that's a completely different, like, side note that I'll talk about later. I don't think that any movie claiming to have a Christian target audience would include legitimate sex scenes. That's just not okay, and I was slightly offended that that was even included. It was unnecessary. I literally have no idea why that was put in the final cut of the movie, because it added nothing to the potential enjoyment of the movie. So yeah, those are 2 big red flags right there. Swearing and sex scenes. That's just a no-brainer that a Christian movie should not have that in it. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking more about a comparison of the book and the movie. I'm going to give some light things and then do a deep dive into 2 areas that the movie completely disregarded, and it just really ticks me off. But the first 2, like, small things that I want to talk about is the character of Michael Hosea. Not at all how I pictured him. Like, not physically, just like his character. the way he talked, the way he treated Angel, the way he treated Paul, his whole entire character throughout the movie was just not the way he's portrayed in the book. In the book, yes, he is a gentle, kind, loving man, but he is also, he's firm, he's stubborn, he knows what he wants, and he doesn't joke about, like, serious things. Well, I guess ish he does, but, like, he's just, like, a solid character. And in the movie, I just felt like he was very wishy-washy. He didn't have a lot of substance when Angel left, instead of being determined to get her back, or determined, like, whatever God led him to do when Angel ran away. In the movie, he just, like, his character didn't really seem to know what to do. And I was really, really disappointed with that, because Michael Hosea is a firm, solid character who is a man of God and who knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly, well, he doesn't, like, know exactly why God chose Angel to be his wife, but he knows that that is the woman for him, and he just loves her unconditionally. And he does love her unconditionally in the movie, but I also felt like he just wasn't as firm in his convictions in the movie. But I just expected a lot more from that character and the way it was going to be played, and it was not delivered. So that was my first, like, light grievance, although it was a pretty big deal for me. Then the second, like, light grievance I have with this movie is how much they left out of the book. The plot was so underdeveloped. Like, I was shocked. If you hadn't read the book, you would not know where the movie is going. And there were times I was like, how are they going to tie that in? And then they didn't tie certain things in that were very important moments in the plot. And yeah, so just the underdevelopment of this storyline. I mean, it was a 2-hour movie. Like, they could have done so much better. There were parts they put in that I'm like, that was unnecessary. And there were parts that they left out that I was like, that, like, a lot of things would make so much sense if you just included that part. But they didn't. So those are my light grievances. I'm going to take a little time now to talk about two major areas that they really messed up and kind of get more analytical-ish. So if you don't want to listen to that, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. You can leave now. But if you want to hear some more, or some deeper thoughts about two areas, then stick around, because I have a lot to say. And the first area that they really messed up is that in the book, Angel, the main character, she does not say Michael's name until a certain point in the novel. She refuses to call him by his name. She calls him Mr. for a decent portion of the book because she does not like him. She refuses to feel anything for him but bitterness and anger, and just takes out all of her emotions, all her angry emotions on him. And she refuses to call him Michael because she does not want to acknowledge that he is good to her and kind to her. And in the movie, that is completely disregarded. And I do believe that is one of the most important turning points in the book, is when she finally calls him Michael. She is admitting that she loves him, that she wants to be with him, that she is willing to change, and that she is willing to eventually be redeemed, even though she doesn't even understand what redemption is. She's acknowledging all of those things, and by calling him Michael, because she's letting go of the bitterness and she's allowing herself to feel more than anger towards him. In the movie, there's just a random scene where she calls him Michael. When I saw that, I was like, what? That's not how the book works. And that turning point, like, the first time I read the novel, I could sense how big of a decision that was for her to say. And so the fact that that was just completely, like, tossed aside and forgotten in the movie, or maybe not forgotten, just decided not to include, I really, really didn't like that. Because if they had just included a bit more dialogue, a bit more her character development to getting to the place where she would say his name, it would have made so much more sense to the movie. And then the second really big thing that they did not include is Angel's friendship with Miriam and Angel's friendship with, oh, I forget her name, but basically the young woman she meets when she runs away to San Francisco. Both of those friendships are key, especially with Miriam and Miriam's family. They really teach Angel, just by their actions, they teach her what a family looks like, what mothering looks like, what friendship looks like, and they show her that it is possible, that this ideal life, it is a thing, and that not everybody, like in a good way, not everybody is as scarred by her, and people can live good lives after dealing with pain. She sees them go through struggles and how they recover, and she just sees how life can be so much different than she has been led to believe, and that is very important. In the movie, we get a couple of scenes with Miriam's family. We see them become friends, and Angel kind of like scoffs and is like, oh, why would you want to be my friend, kind of thing. But we don't see the internal battle that Angel goes through, and she's like, how do they live like this? How have they gone through pain yet recovered, and how can I be like that? We don't see any of that internal struggle. We don't see any of the conversations she has with Michael about like how do they live like that? I just don't get it. I truly think that in the book, if she hadn't been friends with Miriam, if she hadn't seen that family go through that love and that familial devotion, she wouldn't have become a Christian, because she wouldn't know how to function as a Christian if she hadn't seen people live it out. And I do believe that family was so key in her journey to Christ. And the fact that it's not included in the movie, again, brings more confusion to the viewer. So those are my two big grievances. Another small one I'll throw in that's, I understand why they left it out of the movie, because it would have just taken a lot of extra scenes and a lot of dialogue and development that couldn't really have been there. But Angel does not stay Angel throughout the novel. She has quite a few different names, actually. When she starts the novel as a prostitute, she's called Angel, and then when Michael takes her away and marries her and tries to bring her to the Lord and help her see Christ, he calls her Amanda most of the time. He also calls her Mara, which means bitter, because she's bitter for a lot of the novel. And I think he also calls her Tirza, which I forget what that one means. But he calls her different names because she says, you can call me whatever you want. And then finally, at the end of the book, when she returns, after she's become a Christian, she returns to him to stay this time. She tells him her real name, which is Sarah. And those different names mean a lot throughout the novel, and they're very important to seeing how the characters interact, because when Sarah, because that's her real name, when she's Angel, she's one way. When she's called Amanda, she's another way. And it's a good dynamic that was put into the book, but I do understand why it wasn't included in the movie. It's seriously, it would have taken so much time to figure it all out. So I do get that one. But those are my thoughts. This is going to be a longer video. I'm sorry. I just had a lot to say, and I really do want to be more I do want to get deeper into why I do and don't like things this year. That's one of my goals for this channel. So let me know if you like this style. Please let me know your thoughts. If there were some things you enjoyed about this movie, let me know. It's probably not something I'll watch again, nor is it something I recommend to you guys, unless you're like a diehard Francine Rivers fan, then check it out and be disappointed, I guess. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm sad that I didn't enjoy it, but books are always better than movies, and that will forever be a true reader cliche. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video, whatever that is. Until then, bye.